Hey everyone, hello and welcome, TonyBing again here. For this test centre video I'll be having a look at Mr. Fantastic, which was requested by Finstyle on YouTube. Now, like probably a lot of players of Marvel Heroes, no offence to people like Mr. Fantastic, but like a lot of players of Marvel Heroes, I don't have a great deal of kind of playtime on Mr. Fantastic, so this will be a very brief run through where I do just really cover the tooltips. Saying that, having a quick look at the tooltips already, I can see quite a few options for different builds, like a gadgets build or a cooldown orientated build, so it could be interesting. And I imagine the people that really want to get into the character, I think Kitty Attack is a massive Mr. Fantastic fan, they'll really be able to come up with some really, no pun intended, fantastic builds on them. But let's look at the first section, which is Elastic Fists. So with this section, it's just really lots of different melee style attacks. So you've got Elastic Punch, which is your basic melee with a crit hit chance bonus of 10% built into it. And then we have Stretch Dash, which is his movement. And we have Giant Punch, that's got a 5-second cooldown, and that's one of these skills that kind of ties in with the cooldown style build, because you'll notice it says cooldown synergy, and it gains 30% if another cooldown synergy power is currently in cooldown. We'll see a few of them as we run through the kit. Now next up we have Fantastic Grab, which is his weaken there, and it's a 6-second duration. And then we have the Twister, which is a melee area attack, followed up by Stretch Punch. This is just a kind of regular attack there. And then we have Mallet Fist. This is another cooldown synergy attack, so that's 2 we've got so far. And then we have Elastic Barrage, unleash a blood of elastic punches, and this slows the enemies down. And then finally we've got Super Stomp there, which is a knockdown, and that's another cooldown synergy attack. So very simple for that tree. Now let's have a look at Super Genius next. So this tree is really about his gadgets, his inflate moves, and also he does have a new signature, which is pretty nice. So for his first skill we look at, it's inflate. Now we have talents where we can actually use inflate and stretch the spheroid and also corkscrew punch all together, so we'll cover that in a moment anyway, but it could be quite an interesting, quite funny looking build. Now for the gadgets we've got Hyperstatic Inducer here, and this does a stun, and then your other gadget is Gravitation Emitter, which adds vulnerability, and as mentioned we've already talked about Stretch the Spheroid and also Corkscrew Punch. Stretch the Spheroid used to be his signature, I believe. And then we've got Outwit, so this instantly resets all powers currently in cooldown with a 1 minute cooldown on the particular skill. Positron Emitter, which gains charges and so on and does more damage. Playing about with that, it looks like with full charges it can do an insane amount of damage, so I think that'll probably be tweaked. The damage numbers were really just off the chart I was able to do with it, so I can see that getting changed a bit. And then we've got his new signature, which I'll show off. It's Micro Nullifier Prototype. Currently has Thor's kind of icon for the tooltip, so it does knock back in energy damage. There we go there. So that little basic looking maybe for a signature, but it's something different anyway. So now let's have a look at talents and traits. Okay, so as usual we'll have a look at the traits first. That's offensive and defensive. So offensive, you've got Master Tactician, it's Brutal Strike Chance, and his archetype is Templar, which does bonus damage to durability and intelligence. And then we have Elastic Body for his defensive trait, which is Archetype Tough, and that would buff defense and deflect, and he gets 8% damage reduction from melee combat, and he also has a 3% deflect chance there. So for the actual talents, we start off with Perfect Sequence. So this is cooldown synergy damage bonus effects increased to 45%. There we go, we can see that there. We had 3 of them, if I can recall correctly. It's actually kind of cooldown build there. And then you have, when you use a cooldown power, gain a stack of tactical analysis. The buff effect is 5%. The duration is 6 seconds with max stacks of 5, so that could be quite interesting. And then finally we've got, when you use a cooldown power, reduce the cooldown of Outwit by 1 second. And that's this here. Also reduces it by 10 seconds just to start you off there. For the second line of talents, you've got Elastic Avalanche. So inflate can be used while Stretchy Spheroid's ball form is active. So this is Stretchy Spheroid and this is inflate. That's the one we were talking about earlier for your kind of big huge ball build. It would be interesting to see one of them bouncing about, really will be. Now next up you've got elastic defense, so it's passive effect and it's deflect chance, dodge chance, projectile reflect chance, and also gives you inspired as well there for allies, so it's good to see him get a team buff. That makes sense being a leader that he is. And then finally you've got fully functional devices, so this is your gadget build here. It's hyperstatic inducer and graviton emitter, these two skills here, and they gain a cooldown synergy bonus damage effect. So we'll click it, there we go, we can see that there, so I could probably tie into that quite well as well. And they gain a critical hit chance of 100% on both of them. For the third talent line we have Tesla micro coil, so hypostatic inducer also creates a micro Tesla coil. So let's see, it's this one, let's see, so many different names here for them. This one here, we'll fire that off, there we go, we can see the Tesla coil there, and that does some more dot damage. And then it stays after the actual main dots away as well by the looks of it. And then you've got rapid fire micro nullifier, so when you use a cooldown synergy power, reduce the cooldown of micro nullifier prototype, which is your new signature. There really are a lot of options that could tie in quite nice here. I think it's going to have a ton of build options really. This is how talents potentially should be done. Now we then have Herbie, which is your summoned ally, where you can just call him in. You could do that on him before, I believe. And for talent line 4, calculated force, so with this, fantastic grab and corkscrew punch gain the cooldown synergy bonus, so that would take you up to, I suppose if you used this one, that'd be 3, 4, 5, 7 of them in total, so that really could be interesting. And then you have implosion pulses, so graviton emitter pulses an additional 2 times. We'll activate that to show you. 1, 2 and a 3, there we go. And then next up we have optimal combat technique, so the twister can be used while Stretchy Spheroid's ball form is active, so this here ties into that as well there. Or does it? Sorry, the twister is that there. I was getting twister and corkscrew kind of muddled up, which I think is fair enough given the names of them. Now for talent line number 5 we have Hammer Fist, so Mallet Fist now triggers hammer time, and that gives you a bonus of 15% power damage on melee attacks for 6 seconds. And then we have maximised positron emitter, so if positron emitter is activated at maximum charges, it delivers a guaranteed brutal strike, and it gives you an extra 15 charges. This is the skill I was mentioning earlier, that the damage you can potentially do on it, as much as it takes a while to charge, it's absolutely just through the roof. It's insane. I can see it getting pulled down a little bit before live. And then finally we've got Wrecking Ball here, so Stretchy Spheroid, it has the -2 seconds cooldown, it gains more max charges, and you gain movement speed and damage resistance while you're using it. So overall really interesting. You've got gadgets build, you've got a cooldown build, you've got a Stretchy Ball build, which is really good. It's you got a lot more than I actually expected, and it would make me quite intrigued to try them out. So hopefully you found this video useful, and given I don't have a lot of knowledge on them, hopefully I've not made any glaring errors. If I have, please correct me in the comments, and I'll see you all again soon.